Today, let's talk about 5 car services I'll never use, and I'm not talking about services in regard to maintenance. So I personally never use valet parking. I don't ever find it attractive. I don't find it appealing. I don't see it as a good selling point. I know some people think of it as like a luxury lifestyle. Like, yeah, you roll up there, throw the keys at the valet, get front row parking. Everyone looks at your car. Sometimes it's not even front row because what they'll do is they'll drive your car up a garage. It saves you 25 seconds at best, maybe a minute in larger lots. By the time you come back, it doesn't save you time at all because you come back and they still have to get your car and drive back to you. And sure, you don't have to walk to your car yourself, but I find it gimmicky. I absolutely I guess I still respect people who work valets who run companies like that. There's obviously a niche market for it. There's definitely, it serves its purpose, but for most car enthusiasts, I definitely take the Leno approach where I love my car, I adore my car. I also just think it's okay to walk. It's not that big of a deal, especially knowing there's so many risks involved. A lot of valet locations, it could vary. You can have very nice valets, and that might be 80% of your experiences, but it's the 20% that you remember. The ones where it's like a teenager working there, and they're just gonna wail on your car, they're gonna ruin it. They might park it a little bit crooked, and then it gets door dinged or it gets scratched because they're rushing, they're doing their job, and they do it for so long that sometimes they kind of just go a little bit autopilot brain dead mode. I do that when I used to work retail, but the difference with that is when you're working at Walmart, you just mis-scan a few items and then you just tell the customer sorry. But with cars, when you're just constantly parking day in, day out, and you get tired of it, and then you accidentally open one door too fast and hit another car that you parked earlier that day, and now both of them have a door ding on it, and it's just a lot of trouble. It saves you a lot of stress to just park your own car. I'm a firm believer of that. I'll personally never use a valet service. Whenever I see locations, especially if you go to Chicago or New York, there are a lot of locations that are valet parking only, even just normal parking garages, not a 5-star restaurant, just normal locations. I will literally just be like, I'm just not gonna park there. If I absolutely must, you can just look the valet in the eye and be like, I'm parking my car on my own. Don't ask them. Don't be like, oh, can I park? Just say it. And I have never had anyone contest me, even when the manager was brought out, when I just looked at them in the eye and demanded, look, I'm just gonna park my car. Because I literally will have an Indiana license plate and I'm all the way in New York. I'm like, I'm not a local. I don't trust anything that happens. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just gonna park my own car. And they're like, all right, so I don't have to give them my keys or anything. I just drive up there, come back down, just walk down. Then when I need to go back to get my car, I tell them I'm the guy who just parked their own car. Like, yeah, we remember you, go back up. So that also surprisingly works more than you think. I remember reading an article that sometimes when places say valet only, you can actually just contest it. Now, another service I'll never use are automatic car washes. When I bought my Mustang GT used, the previous owner had a yearly membership to an automatic car wash. While most Mustangs brag about Stage 3 superchargers, I had Stage 3 paint swirls the day I got that Mustang. I just kind of put more fuel on the fire. I took my Mustang GT to automatic car washes a lot because I lived in Indy. I was a lot fatter back then. I was a beast, I'll just say it. I mean, people who I've unlisted a lot of those videos, but I was lazy, especially during the winter time when it was too cold. Just straight up just went through an automatic car wash. But once I got my Corvette, I take care of my Z06 a lot. I'm so proud when I park Leno in the sunlight and I'm like, look at that paint. She just has nice glossy sheen. Yeah, she has rock chips. I cross country her, big whoop. But I'm so happy that I don't have nearly the paint swirls that my Mustang GT did. Carvana. So this is just a very personal opinion, obviously, on the company, but most of the times their cars are quite the ripoff. They're much more overpriced than cars at dealers, and that's not even considering the fact that when you go to the dealer, you can also negotiate it further down. You can't exactly negotiate that much on Carvana, much less sometimes not at all. It's just list price only. You get what you get. They do have the convenience that they'll take your car back, but you can also find dealers these days that are starting to step up their game and try to match that. Now, my main problem with Carvana is very much so a surface level kind of vanity problem, where I don't think a lot of people will see this as a problem, but I do. I feel like it kind of desensitizes or depersonalizes a car, and I know that's really weird because you're like, bladed, it's just a car, it's just a hunk of metal. Bro, not to me. I love cars, I adore cars, and seeing them be in this lifeless tube on an elevator as they just go up and down, and when at the push of a button, it makes it feel like you're just buying it makes it feel like you're buying something from a vending machine. It really takes away the specialness. To be fair, dealerships aren't exactly the most special experience either, because it's basically a final boss battle. But like I said, I look forward to that to some extent, because if you make it work your way, you will almost almost always get a better deal doing the traditional dealership route than you would the Carvana route. The next car service is definitely a dying fad. I've only seen 2 in my entire life. However, I'm still going to put this on the video because they still remain in other countries as well as in very certain remote locations in America, and that is gas station attendants. I just find it weird, the rising gas prices. I don't want to tip someone to fill my gas for me when I could just do it myself, and I don't want to tell them, oh, make sure to use higher octane because this car doesn't use normal octane. Like, F me if a non-car guy understands that. So I'm just like, look, I just want to fill my own gas and just do my own thing, go at my own pace, and then just leave, not have to tip someone. If you still live in a country that actively does this, honestly, I'm impressed that they've kept it going for this long in wherever location you are. But personally, I think it's a huge gimmick, and it for sure should be extinct probably within the next few decades. The final car service I never use, this is a very niche one, and that is we come to you detailing. So it's basically when detail companies show up at your house and detail your car instead of you driving your car to a detail location. Now this is beneficial for a lot of things that, for example, if you drive to a location to get your car detailed, you have to drive your car back, and on the drive back your car can get dirty. And if you're trying to do something like a wrap, for example, or literally any type of adhesive, like you're gonna put louvers on, or you're gonna any like installation where you need your car to be clean and stay clean right after the cleaning, I can see the appeal. I can see the appeal of having the detailers come to you instead of you going to them. That way you avoid that drive home. That's really nice. So like your car's really clean right at home. It hasn't budged an inch. There's no dust once the cleaning is done, so you can just start wrapping right away. Whereas if you drove it back on the way home, especially if you're like 40 minutes away from whatever detailer you came from, you may get dust and other residue and rock chips back on your car. So then by the time you apply the wrap, then the adhesive may fail at certain locations. So I get it, alright? The only reason I don't like it is like I said, it's a very niche reason for me, because I do think there is a lot of benefit for most car enthusiasts to actually continue to use this service. This is the one service on this video that I am actually fully supportive of. I think it's nice, but the reason I don't use it is obviously I'm a YouTuber, and every other YouTuber and anyone who values their privacy would know it's strange to give out your personal address to people like this. Now, of course, you're probably like, oh, Bladed, you order packages though. Don't you give your address to those people? The difference is the average UPS driver doesn't know who I am, whereas a lot of car detailers are usually in the car business and also watch automotive YouTube. And they also recognize me at a lot of local meets, and they usually hand me detailing stuff like, hey, I know who you are, you're Bladed. I'm going to give you my business card. If you ever need detailing at your house, call me, I can come here. And I never actually call them because it's just really awkward knowing that someone who knows me will now know where I live. And there's just a lot of bad things that can result from that. So it's literally just a privacy issue for me, and a lot of other social media influencers could relate to that, I'm sure. But for the average Joe, it might not be as big of an issue. It might still be an issue, actually, because if you're someone who's upper income, you live in a nice neighborhood, or you have a really nice car, and you're just like, no, look, not really that showy for my car. I don't exactly want someone coming to my garage and scoping everything out, seeing everything I have. Some men, their garage is just like that man cave for them. It's just their nice safe space, their nice private space, and they just don't want other people kind of shuffling around in it, because that's very much so what it is for me. So even if I weren't a YouTuber, I still probably wouldn't do this, just because I like my garage being my garage with only me kind of setting foot in it. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more car content. Other than that, see y'all next time. Blade Angel out.